Harry, you could have had a total of 3.5 months, roughly speaking, off if these rules had been about when you became a dad 4 times. Would you have taken it?
Well, I think I would have taken the bulk of it, but you're still not being paid that well. It's still only going to be at minimum wage, so it's not the vast burden on businesses that some critics of this policy suggest. But I think it's a great idea. You know, Scandinavia do these sort of policies, and, you know, economic productivity in the likes of Sweden and Norway are far superior than economic productivity in Britain. And I don't see the problem with this.
So 2 weeks, 4 weeks, that doesn't go far enough as far as you're concerned?
No, 4 weeks is fine for me. And, of course, you're not helping out realistically with the baby all that much, because when they're newborn, you can't really do very much, but you can help at home and you can bond with your baby and you can have good family time. And the divorce rates are far lower with countries where there is good quality paternity leave. Now, you can't prove that there's a causation between the two, but there's certainly a link between, you know, good policies for parents and lower divorce rates.
And also, Mike, people argue that in those countries where they do more of this kind of thing, they're more productive too. So what's wrong with it?
Well, I don't think, first and foremost, that this is going to close the productivity gap that we have here in the UK. What I do think we need to be mindful of is the fact that we've got shared parental leave only just kicking in now. That takes effect in April this year. Small businesses in particular need to understand how that's going to work for them, because it's not the pure cost, although that's been highlighted today. It's actually the administrative burden of the business owner, understanding what needs to be done, how it's going to work in practice, and making sure that they've got the right policies in place, and how, in particular, where you've got 2 employers, the interaction between those 2 employers is going to pan out.
Now, let me just interrupt and say, but here's the thing. Rachel Reeves, as we heard from there in Andy's piece, Shadow Work and Pension Secretary, she said these concerns about small businesses coping were what used to be said about maternity leave. But those concerns still remain, don't they? They still get worried about, well, maternity leave, paternity leave as well.
No, I think this is different, because this is about the administrative burden as it affects small businesses. And as I say, we've got shared parental leave still to come in. Having another initiative on top where you've actually got less chance of covering for that person, 2 weeks you can just about manage. But if you haven't got a skilled person who can take the place of that individual in very small businesses, it's often the owner or the business manager who's going to have to cover for that individual. And therefore, productivity is not the answer here.
And I know this is a problem you're going to cross in your own family, because you're a dad, you're about to become a granddad, and your son works for you. So you've got to sort out what paternity leave he's going to take.
I've got to wrap my head around how the shared parental leave is going to work, and then were this to come in the next 12 months, for instance, I'd also have to try and work out how I find more time, either by training someone else up, which takes away my time from running the business, or indeed covering and putting more hours in.
He's going to want to look like a good boss, though, isn't he?
Well,
that's important.
He does, but this is how good businesses are run. There are already companies out there who do schemes like this. And I think it's been slightly overblown, the cost to businesses and the hassle, because shared parental leave, which is yet to start, is just a sort of souped-up version of additional paternity leave, and hardly anyone takes that. It's less than 2% of those fathers who are entitled to take extra leave take it because it doesn't pay very well, and ultimately they are often the main breadwinner. And it'll be the same case in this extra paternity leave. Most people probably won't take it anyway.